This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam, welcome to the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I am your host, covering everything sport, international and local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world, whether it's 95 FM, Pulse95Radio.com, our app, Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, or even if you're in the comfort of your very own home watching us live on YouTube. Thank you so much for connecting with us today, and I hope to make this hour worth your while. Right, what's on the show today? We're going to bring back this theme we used to have back in the day, which I used to tell you, who's the athlete? I'm going to spend the whole show dropping you these hints, and then you're going to tell me at the end of it if you've got it or not. Text us on 4215, Ittasalat or do, or slide into my DMs at Omar Al-Duri on Instagram if you have the correct answer. That's going to be on the show today. We've also got the Premier League is back, so we're discussing finally. I don't know how you guys feel, but I have been missing football from the domestic leagues at least, and the international week almost bored me to death. But there were some positives from that, so we're going to be discussing that. Now, here's something for you. Everything appears to be going through the feet, from the universe to the human body. What I mean by that is, I've often spoke about the feet being the USB to the body. So we're going to be talking about how the feet, and that's right, you heard it right, the feet influence performance. So you're going to have to tune in for that, because it's actually quite interesting when you think about it. Normally we think about the knees, we think about the back, we think about the core, and we even had the orthopedic surgeon this week discuss a few things. So if you missed out on that show, check it out on YouTube. And last but not least, of course, we are talking about what's coming up this week, what's happened last week, and what's going to happen in the weeks to come on the Halftime Show. I'm very excited as we reach the 200th episode of the Halftime Show. That's right, 200 episodes in, and I can't wait to share that with you. So make sure you tune in on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Hope you're having a great day tuning in on 95 FM, Pulse95Radio.com. Our YouTube is popping as well at Pulse 95 Radio. If you head over to YouTube, all our shows and episodes get uploaded on there from Super Mario and Gabby, who do a great job behind the scenes, by the way, to give you a visual experience of what happens on radio. So let's give a couple of shout outs first to the people who are tuned in on the Instagram live, messaging me now. We've got Terry, we've got Sheikha, we've got Subi, all the way from Denver. And that's 4 a.m. So that is dedication, Subi. Appreciate you. We've got Laka, we've got Sam, we've got Masoud, Mirna, and who else have I got in here? Oh, and of course Murad as well, and everyone else, and Florin from New York as well, who's always showing love here on the Halftime Show. So I appreciate that. Okay, right. The segment of today, which we're going to start off with, is Guess the Athlete. No Googling. I see you on YouTube. I see you Googling. No Googling. Okay? Right. This athlete is often overlooked by fans, but never his teammates. He is 8 goals away from breaking the all-time goal scorer record. However, he also went 546 minutes of action without a single shot on target and ended the World Cup campaign without a single shot on target. Right? Did you get that? Okay. He's often overlooked because he might not show. I'm trying not to give away too much. He might not always give you what you want, but he does the best for the team. Okay? The sport is football. Are we with me? Are you with me so far? The sport is football. So I've given you the first clue. Now, throughout the show, I am going to drop these hints. Okay? He's outscored some of the best players in the world. And I'll give you those best players later on. He is 6'4", and he's won a World Cup. There you go. That's enough for now. I think that's enough for now. I don't want to give you too much. I don't want to give you too much information. But the athlete is often overlooked by fans, but never his teammates. His teammates love to play with him, but the fans don't always think he should play. There is a couple of hints so far for you. The Adan is going to come in very, very soon. But let's see if you can guess the athlete. 4215, Ittasalat or slide into my DMs at Omar Duri. Shout out to Fahad, Fahima, Ali, and of course, Kit, all the way from the UK, tuned in as well. If you can guess the athlete, let me know. I'll be right back after the Adan, and let's see if you can get it. Here we go.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Duri. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Hope you're having a wicked day, and thank you for spending it with me wherever you are around the world. If it's 4 a.m. in Denver, like Subi, if it's I think it's 6 in New York, whatever time it is, wherever you are tuned in, thank you for sharing this time with me here on the Halftime Show on Pulse 95. Now, I'm glad you liked the music. Thank you very much for giving me your comment on the music. The guess of the day is guess the athlete. This person has gone 546 minutes without having a single shot on target, often overlooked by his fans, but not his teammates. He's outscored some of the most incredible footballers and yet does not really get a figure in his team. I'm giving you a lot of clues at the moment, but I'm going to give you that chance to take your guesses in, shoot them in, and then I'll be able to answer them later for you. Right, okay, so on the fitness segment of today, if feet are the USB to the body, why are we often neglecting feet? A lot of you have heard about the different types of exercises that you do often goes through the feet. I've also heard as the feet being the USB to the body, which I thought was great because the universe delivers through the feet, and that's something that we often overlook in performance. We kind of look at the usual common injuries, the knees, the back, and the core. And we had an orthopedic surgeon earlier this week who actually discussed Zlatan Ibrahimovic as an example. Now, I thought Zlatan is a freak of nature when it comes to him physically, biomechanically. I think to be able to play at the highest level for this long and win the things that he's won was so impressive. 37 years old and still playing at the top level. The doctor explained that the reason why Zlatan has still kept the standards he's kept is due to his mindset and not due to his genetics, which is what I thought, and I'm sure a lot of us here, normally look at. We think Zlatan must be genetically fit and an athlete, so therefore his body is used to taking that kind of pressure. But that's what was so impressive. He actually said that it was Zlatan's mindset that got him through his recovery phases. That gives you a couple of things to play about with. Right, the foot is one of the most overworked, underappreciated parts of the human body. In a single day, the average person takes 8,000 to 10,000 steps. That works out to be 4 trips around the world over a lifetime, putting a lot of wear and tear onto your intricate foot bones. There are 26 foot bones in each of your feet, one less than in each hand. And when we're born, those foot bones are mostly cartilage. They only completely harden around age 21. So I didn't even know that till we had this research in. But this coming from a personal experience where the body's taken a bit of wear and tear, as we can admit. For me, anyway. And having been in the industry for a long time, you get to put your body through a lot of stuff. With the issues that I had, I went to see a podiatrist this week, Dr. Craig, who's very, very good, by the way. And he was talking to me about the importance of how your feet lands and gets planted on the ground, which caused me a lot of calf injuries. Now, when I thought of seeing this specialist, shout out to Miffy, by the way, for the recommendation, we were trying to figure out why the calves are being triggered off. Now, not to go into it too much, the big toe plays such a vital role in performance. I bet you didn't know that. The big toe is almost like the thumb of your hand. So can you imagine walking around with no thumb? That's exactly the role that the big toe plays in planting your feet on the ground. So this is what I learned from him in terms of just trying to study how I can improve my performance and get, better, because I've had these injuries, these chronic injuries, calf injuries, for over 20 years. So we're going through this process now, and I will keep you updated on that. But what I will do is actually have him in the show, hopefully, and he can tell us about the importance of the feet when it comes to the body. Now, apart from that, when we actually think about things, and I've spoken about prevention over cure when it comes down to health and fitness, we often overlook these things until it's too late. It's very interesting that when I checked the research, it said the average person walks about 100,000 miles in a lifetime. That's a lot of stress on the feet. And stress doesn't always just come in your mind, it also comes in your feet. And that's why that tag of the USB, feet being the USB to the body, is so interesting. It's not surprising that the lower back pain, headaches, indigestion, and spine misalignment are often related to foot problems. Some runners blow way past this mark. They've logged at least 100,000 in running miles alone. One committed runner, Herb Fred, has run a whopping 247,000 miles. That is insane. So when you think about all these things, now start to question how you perform, how you walk, how you move. And do you give your feet the attention it requires? Do you foam roll, for example? Do you roll over a tennis ball or a cricket ball to be able to soften up? All that tension and stress that the foot takes. Now, I want you to think about that and get back to me after the break, because a lot of the time we do neglect the feet and we don't give it the attention it requires. I've also done ice therapy as well, which has helped that a lot. But once you get out of the ice, you can't stay still. You got to keep moving. The segment of the day was asking you about guessing the athlete. We've had a few answers in already. Keep those answers coming in if you figured out already. Hi, Thea, one of my favorites who's come on the show, one of the youngest half-timers that's been on here. And hi, everyone else who is tuned in. Right, guys, guess that athlete. Coming up next, we're talking about the Premier League on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the Halftime Show. Got to give a couple of shout-outs to our very own Omnia Saleh, who even when she's not in the studio is still getting love on the Instagram Live as they drop the cookie emoji. If you're a regular listener on the Halftime Show, and especially behind the scenes on Instagram or on YouTube, you will know that Omnia Saleh has a role to play on every show that I come on Pulse 95. So thank you very much, Omnia. Shout out to Lara, Fahad, Thea, Dino all the way from the UK, Masoud, FB, SK, you've got Terry, you've got Thea. I said Thea already, I'm going to say her again just because she's cool. Sunshine and everyone else. And of course, Subi, who's tuned in from Denver at 4 a.m. Okay, guys, right. So it's been a while since we talked football. And the reason being is because it's been really boring without Premier League. And now finally the Premier League is back. We're going to try and get you guys to spin off this long break that we've had from Premier League. Now, the fixtures coming up today actually leave us, for a treat, actually, because we've got a lot of action this weekend. We've got Newcastle versus Chelsea, Tottenham versus Manchester City, seeing Jose Mourinho facing Pep Guardiola, who's just signed a contract to extend his stay at City. Is Messi knocking on the door? I wonder why. Fulham, Everton, Leeds and Arsenal, my favourite coach against my favourite team. Burnley, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Southampton, Liverpool, Leicester City. Liverpool being pretty much punished by the international break with all the injuries and COVID situations they've had. Sheffield United, West Ham, Man United, West Brom. Yes, spicy. I know you're watching and enjoying that. And Aston Villa versus Brighton. Okay. If you're just tuning in and wondering what the topic of the day was, I kind of threw a spanner in the works and asked you to guess the athlete. The sport was football. This athlete is often overlooked by his fans, but never his teammates. He's gone 546 minutes of action without a single shot on target. And he could have represented Italy. There's a clue for you. He has won a World Cup. And he's outscored some of the greatest players although he's not someone that all fans like. So that is the clue for that athlete. Going back to the Premier League now, I'm going to be giving you away the answer on the final segment. Going back to the Premier League now, one of the things, if you tuned into the show on, Wednesday, I believe, with Dr. Ahmed, the orthopedic surgeon, he was talking about mindset and injuries, and especially the most common injury is the ACL, anterior cruciate ligament, and how knees, can take quite a beating, regardless of any sport that you play. He actually brought up Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which was very, very interesting because I thought he was a freak of nature. I thought he was someone that, genetically is just on another level. Playing at the highest level at 37 and doing it wherever he's been is very, very impressive. But what was intriguing about his answer is he said, the strongest thing about Zlatan is not his joints, not his genetics, but his mindset. And that's why he's been able to recover so quickly, because nothing can faze him. And we've seen all the memes about, COVID. Zlatan didn't get COVID. COVID got Zlatan. But still, it was very intriguing and actually helped me with an injury that I'm going through to be able to think, you know what? We can really fast forward things when we get our mindset right. So there was something on that. This weekend, we've got the Premier League back, which I'm so excited about. Can't wait to get home, put my feet up, and just watch football all day long. It's going to be great. The games are on as well. Tottenham versus Manchester City, which is tonight. Zlatan. Jose Mourinho, who's had a lot of praise with his Tottenham side, is going to be facing Pep Guardiola once again in a battle where it sees those two at each other. Now, Pep's had a very good way of ignoring Mourinho, but even today when I watched the press conference, Mourinho said to Southgate that Southgate should call out those clubs that don't want their players to play for their country when it comes to friendlies and when it comes to these, games. There's a slight dig at Sterling because he's missed 3 games, and Mourinho did say, watch him play against us. So the mind games is starting. Sam gives us his opinion on Instagram on what he thinks of Mourinho. I don't think I can repeat that on radio, Sam, but I get you. Dino said I spent 9 months out with an injury I thought I had. Eddie just joined in as well. Now that you guys have joined in, I'm going to drop it one more time before I go into the break. What I threw in earlier is the player, guess the athlete. It's football, the sport. He's outscored some of the best players in the world. He's not someone that is a household name. He could have played for Italy. And the last clue I'll give you is he's 8 goals away from being his country's all-time record scorer. Right. Something for you to tuck into in the break. I'm going to play some Pharrell and Beyonce, Water, and I'll be right back after this. Enjoy.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I'm your host, covering everything Sport International on Local. Thank you very much. I'm just tongue-tied my words there. Thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in and kept me company. That's one thing I love about the show is the people that are tuned in, the people that do connect and give me their feedback and their comments and even their guesses today, because on today we gave you a Guess the Athlete segment, and it was something that I think a lot of you got the answers wrong, but some of you got the answers right, and I couldn't confirm it at the time, but I will confirm it now. This person played 546 minutes of action without a single shot on target and ended the 2018 World Cup campaign in Russia. He played 90 minutes without touching the ball. He's someone that doesn't always get the credit by his fans, but always by his teammates. He is 8 away from breaking the world record of all-time goal scorer for his country. He could have played for Italy, but chose a different nation. And the last one is, which is going to give it away, he's outscored Zinedine Zidane, Michel Platini, David Trezeguet, Benzema, and Griezmann. And the guess, yes, that's right, is Olivier Giroud is the athlete we were talking about all day. But one question I will say, why has this player not got the credit from the fans wherever he's played that he deserves? Didier Deschamps always picks him. The players around him love him. Arsene Wenger rated him very highly. And he's only 8 goals away from breaking Thierry Henry's record. That is crazy. Thinking about it now, it's unreal to be able to see why this player is... In fact, is he the most underrated footballer on the planet? Is that a good one to throw at you guys? Is he the most underrated footballer on the planet? Because wherever he's gone, he's had a huge impact on his teams. Love him or hate him. I actually asked on the show, who would you like to see as guests come on the show? And Thea straight went, Iceman. He's already been on the show. Dino came up with a very interesting one. He said, what did he say? He said, Has anyone ever been a guest on their own show? Well, they will probably involve me running around to ask the question and then head over there to mic number 3 and answer it. I might be knackered by the time that show goes on. Sheikha says, I want to see you on the halftime show being interviewed. That is really nice, Sheikha. I really appreciate you. Let's see. We want to see you on the show. Halftime hijack by the fans. You know what? That sounds really cool when you have, the followers. The way that you guys are following would be fantastic. You are right, Sheikha. It was Giroud. And yes, Isa, you were right as well. Underrated in France. I think underrated everywhere he's been, Qasim, to be honest. The person that, is often overlooked is Olivier Giroud. And to think that he's only 8 goals away from Thierry Henry is incredible. Can't believe that. And even for Chelsea, he's not a starter. Even for Arsenal, he did play quite a few games, but again, wasn't always, the first choice player, so to speak. But why is that? Is he the most underrated person? Terry has just said now, bring Omnia on to interview you. She's a fan favorite. I agree with you, Terry. Omnia from Future Talk 2 to 3. I'm not sure how Hani will feel about that. But if I brought on Omnia to interview me, I think that would be a great interview because she is fabulous. We see the cookies come out whenever she's on the show. Almas has joined in. How you doing, Almas? Thank you for joining. And Florin, of course, definitely hijacking the show when I arrive. Well, when are you arriving, Flo? Mohammed Baluchi says Pushkash Award. Yes. So for those that know, he actually got the Pushkash Award, which means it's the most aesthetically pleasing goal scored. And he won that. Yeah, he definitely won that as well. In 2017, he won that award with that famous goal. He's won the World Cup in 2018. He scored 44 goals for his country. And the players love him. Shadi says, today we will smoke Manchester City. As obviously the fixtures are out today, and you know that Tottenham are playing Manchester City. Jose Mourinho versus Pep Guardiola. That's going to happen today. What do you guys think? What are the scores going to be? COVID, bro, I can't leave the States. Well, Florian, you say that, but Aisha, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, came to Dubai and the UAE, and she visited us here in Sharjah as well. And she was here for 10 days. So I think Florian, you might be able to head over, come and see your brother. Definitely Giroud is a super sub. Yeah, but Qasim, that's the question I ask you guys. Why is he just regarded as a super sub? Why not more? That is the question I think for today that we're asking. If you guys missed the shows, don't worry, you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anghami. The podcasts are all up, or even on YouTube, thanks to Super Mario and Gabby, who upload our episodes hopefully straight away and you can catch all of our guests, and that's really nice to be able to see, the guests that we've had on. We've had so many different types of guests, which are great for the show. They add their own flavors to it. You can see from Evolve Nation to Thea to Dr. Ahmed to Leone FC. We've had to the Iceman. She'd be happy that I said that. Which is great. So yeah, let me know, who would you like to see on the show in the studio? Obviously they'd have to be in the UAE to invite them down. I'm going to have Hannah as well on the show. It's always Hannah. She's going to be on hopefully on Wednesday. We spoke about the feet being the USB to the body, which was a very interesting segment earlier, especially when you find out how much stress the feet take in performance. We were talking about that. Who else? Florin is saying she has a UAE passport. I'm looking into. No, actually, Aisha has a US passport, Flo. Almas says we left the US in July, so you can leave, Flo. There, you're getting all the feedback here. So yeah, guys, and Shadi says 3-2 to score, total score. Tottenham will win. I hate that they don't keep a clean sheet. Well, I mean, the Tottenham fans are very, very confident at the moment, and rightfully so. Their team are doing well. How about Aston Villa? Aston Villa, Leicester City, Southampton, doing great things at the moment. Now, I'm so excited the Premier League is back. That's going to be amazing. The fact that the Premier League is back and we are able to get some football again is just lovely. Can't wait to get back, chill, put my feet up, and just enjoy the sport for the day. It's definitely something that we rely on here on the Halftime Show. Giroud is, what's that safest saying? Giroud is a total team player and doesn't look for spotlight. A unique player that links his team, absolutely 100% right. Almas says, Coach Omar, any FIFA Fair Play Award candidates come to mind? Since Bielsa won the FIFA Fair Play Award, I think for me, it's got to be something huge to do that. And Bielsa won that because he had allowed the other team to score a goal in a campaign that they were trying to get into the Premier League because a player scored a goal while the other team was injured. Now, he told his team and instructed his team to let a goal in. They drew 1-1 in that game and ended up missing out on the Premier League promotion that season from 1 point. So when that happened, I think it's changed everything, to be honest, Almas, but I will keep an eye out for you. City are going to bring the smoke. That's what Florin is saying. Shadi disagrees with you, Florin. That's going to be an interesting topic of discussion. We won't see a type of player like him for a while. Topic on depression in sports. What long-term injuries can do to the mindset? Interesting topic, how to overcome depression. Really good. Qasim, I really like that. Qasim tuned in from the UK. I love that topic. I think that's a very, very solid topic. To have to bring someone that specializes in that to be able to discuss. But it's definitely something that would intrigue a lot of people who tune in. And that's what I like about the show. We've got a variety of people that are tuned in, not just sports fans, but those who are interested in health and well-being and mindset. If you caught the show the other day with Dr. Ahmed, I said this earlier, it was very interesting that he picked Zlatan Ibrahimovic not for his genetics, but for his mindset to speed up recovery, even at the age of 37. Very, very cool. Isa, who is disguised as Muna on the Instagram live, says Kane will prove why he's better than Aguero. Whew, talk about dropping a bomb before we end the full time, the halftime show with full time. See, Isa, you got me saying all sorts of nonsense. That is the full time whistle. I hope you've enjoyed the show, guys. Remember, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 3 to 4 on the halftime show. Shout out to my man Ray as well, who's in the building. We missed you, my man. And everyone else is tuned in. Remember, guys, the shows do get uploaded onto the YouTube. Go on there, support, share, like the topics. We've got some incredible guests on there showing mad love, which is amazing to see the halftime show. And we're nearly on episode 200, which is fantastic for everyone that's contributed, who has been viewing, who's been sharing, who's been watching, who's even appeared on the show. Thank you so much, guys. There's love, so much love coming here from the studio. Hope you can feel it, and I really appreciate it, guys. I will be back again, as my boy Troop says, on Monday, the same time, 3 to 4, on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95. Peace and love, guys.
If you liked this episode of the Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.